Welcome back to another episode of the Hub on Hollywood podcast. I'm your co-host, James Rojas.
And I'm Jamie Blanco.
On today's episode, a review of what's being called the scariest movie in the franchise, Alien Romulus. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, expecting a big opening weekend. The debates over the controversial ending to Twisters continues. This time, Glen Powell throws his opinion into the mix. You could say into the twist. Disney releasing new trailers for Snow White and Mufasa, and guess what? They look terrible. Matt Damon, however, and Casey Affleck. Let's get to this first because they look like they're in big trouble. Because did you hear this, Jamie? They were busted recently trying to rob a Dunkin in Boston.
It's always a Dunkin. It's always a Dunkin, right? They're always messing around in there.
It's in their blood.
So is it? Yeah, I guess so. I guess that being from Boston, you know, they've been involved in doing commercials for Dunks for a few years now, and it seems like this is the latest installment.
They've gone bad. The bad boys.
They've gone bad. They're rotten apples. What'd they do? What'd they do, James?
So long story short, this is an ad not only for Dunkin', I'm sure, but also for their new movie on Netflix, The Instigators, that came out 2 weeks ago. So they're still promoting this thing, which we'll get into, you know, what that could potentially mean about the movie. But basically in this video, Casey Affleck, Matt Damon, they go into a Dunkin' and they have brown paper bags over, their hands in brown paper bags, and they say, hey, we got guns. This is a stick-up. Don't worry, dude.
Right.
You know, you're getting off work. That's the good news. The bad news is this is a robbery, yada, yada. And then the guys, they just pull the bags off of their hands, revealing their hands. And they just, so the funny thing is, like, the funniest part of it was the actual cashier, who I think he's in TikTok videos, him and this other guy behind the counter. But they say, hey, come on, dude, like, there's a line behind you. Order already.
Yeah.
And so deflated, Matt Damon orders something, pays for Casey's order, and then they leave. So, but again, so it's a little funny sketch, little thing they had going. But I'm worried because, like I said, this movie has been out for 2 weeks already, but they are still promoting this movie. Usually you see the heavy promotion before the movie comes out and, you know, leading up to it. Not usually 2 weeks after it's come out. So this has me thinking, is this a bad movie?
I don't know. There are definitely mixed reviews. I think it's 56% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, which is not great. Not so hot, not great. Yeah. I think where people were not like feeling this movie it's a heist movie, it's a crime movie, but it's also got that comedic twist.
Right.
So there's a little bit of muddledness when it comes to, is this supposed to be serious or is this supposed to be comedic? And I think that the tone is not quite clear according to some of the reviews out there. But at the same time, a lot of people, even those with criticisms, are like, yeah, look, this is a flawed movie, but it's still fun the whole way through.
Yeah.
So the plot of this movie is obviously Matt Damon, Casey Affleck. They decide to turn to crime to deal with some of their financial problems. They're involved in this heist robbery. Everything goes bad. They decide to willingly kidnap their shrink, right? Their psychiatrist. The psychiatrist goes willingly. She's like, all right, fine. I'll be your hostage while they're outrunning the police and the crime people, the crime bosses, and all of these other characters that are kind of out for vengeance. So, fun premise. It sounds like it's a fun movie, but people are having trouble finding it, I think, James, is part of the problem as well. Because it's come out on Apple TV Plus. I feel like this is one of the lesser streaming services.
Yeah, I stand corrected. I said Netflix. That would have been way too convenient. But yeah, Apple TV
Plus. And I feel like people don't know where to find it. I feel like there was not enough build-up, there was not enough marketing for this film that I'd say it's pretty decent. It's a fun romp. It was made here in Boston. It's got all the locales, especially if you were involved in the making of this film or you live anywhere in this region. It's gonna be fun to watch and see. But you gotta be able to find the film.
Yeah, I've heard it's like a love letter to Boston because, of course, they go everywhere. You know, Quincy Market, to Fenway Park. They go to, they're on Storrow Drive. They're at City Hall, and so it's like a I love you shout out to Boston, from what I hear. Now, here's my theory.
It is.
So I know it's crazy to believe. Now, brace yourself, Jamie. Are you sitting down? Please tell me you're sitting down.
Bracing.
So,
yeah.
Matt Damon's best friend, Ben Affleck, you know, he famously did a heist robbery movie based in Boston 14 years ago. That's insane. So that blew my mind because I looked it up yesterday and I was like, this is not possible. This came out like 5 years ago. No, it came out 14 years ago. Anyway, my theory is that Matt Damon was like, you know what? Ben Affleck's not the only Boston boy who can do a heist movie in my town, and that's definitely a perfect Boston accent. But he says, you know what? I don't want to be criticized. People thinking I'm trying to remake the town. So I need to do I need to have a spin on it. I'm still going to have an Affleck, so that's why he recruited Casey. But he's going to make it a comedy, you know, a lighthearted one. But it's just not sticking. So maybe
I don't know, but
Ben Affleck, he's like, he's going to be like basking in people remembering, his movie was the better Boston heist movie. My theory.
Yeah, so they're going to be going back and forth. What do you guys think? Have you seen The Instigators? Which one is better? I'm probably, it's probably a safe bet that the town was better, James. But I don't know. A couple of things. Matt Damon's accent in this film, just from the trailers alone, sounds a little forced. Like, I know he grew up here and everything, and, but he doesn't have that heavy accent. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't have that heavy accent. So I think when they kind of force it and push it, like it, I think it detracts a little bit. It takes you out of it a little bit. It's like, come on. Like, people speak normally here, too, as well. Without that, like, super heavy, it's time to go to the yard. Whatever.
By Harvard.
You gotta go by Harvard and get this. Gotta go to the Powderhorn.
Again,
the Powderhorn's a place. Kudos if you know what the Powderhorn is. But James, fun when they were making it. Okay, maybe not so much for drivers, but when they were filming here, really cool chase scenes that make it in the film. And one of us, James, was on this film. That sounds kind of shitty.
It was me.
It was you. Yeah.
You caught me.
I could have said that differently. But I got a chance to work on this film, James, and not in my typical role as like a background actor or a stand-in. I actually got to be a precision driver during the chase scenes that were filmed here in Boston. And let me tell you, this was a singular experience.
What does that mean?
So a precision driver is a step below a stunt driver. Basically, you're brought in to drive forward and backwards, going about 40 miles an hour. Try to keep it straight. Don't crash into the car in front of you, behind you, next to you. But basically, you're doing a sequence alongside the stunt drivers and not crashing. So I did get some training for this, which was awesome. And I spent about a week working on The Instigators. And let me tell you, the closest I've ever felt to being like a maniacal villain was when they shut down, was it the Sumner Tunnel? And like, you could just feel the anger radiating off of the city when they shut down the tunnel. They shut down Storrow Drive and the bridges around there, the road in front of MIT. Like, it caused some mayhem. It caused a bit of consternation. But man, like, walking down the middle of Storrow Drive in the middle of the afternoon, like, and just feeling the anger radiating off the city, and here I am in the middle of the road, like, owning it. Like, I felt like the Joker, right? I felt like I was in a Batman film, and that we had taken over the city of Boston. It was just really cool. So, I mean, we had a great time. No, I
You
didn't.
should have. This is
but
perfect time.
the stunt drivers did.
Okay.
So it was a police chase, obviously, and you got the police cars banging into each other and going at a high rate of speed, and one car's going around the other, and we're just trying to not die, and it was really fun. It was really, really fun to see them do these takes.
Do you drive a car that they provide, or do you drive your own car?
Oh, you drive your own vehicle.
So your Matrix
I was driving my own vehicle.
The Instigators?
My car and myself are in the Instigators.
Again, if you had it in rats, in a Matrix-style rap, that'd be even better.
No, but then you don't get booked, okay? If you want to get your vehicle booked, have a car that looks like it can blend in, right? They're looking for vehicles that are like gray, white, like, blues, things that blend into the background and don't steal the spotlight. Okay. And so I think one of the funnest parts about this was not only, watching these police cars careening down the road and screaming, people taking pictures and watching this over and over and over again. But when we were in the tunnel and they had shut down the tunnel, they had these drones, James. Okay, so they had these drones that were flying so fast. They were going like 50 miles an hour, flying over our heads. I'm like, oh my God, that's going to decapitate someone. And we were being chased by a big rig at that point, and just seeing the drones and the stunt cars and the camera cars riding alongside the stunt cars, going so fast. That was one of the funnest things that I've gotten to do. So for the experience of filmmaking here in New England, I'm all for it. I love stunts. So even if the movie's not that great, it doesn't freaking matter, because all of us here in New England, we got to be a part of it, especially here in Boston. So if you are a part of the Instigators and you want to be on the Hub on Hollywood, we want to talk about your experience on set, go ahead and reach out to us. We're everywhere, right, James?
We are absolutely everywhere. We are on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram at Hub on Hollywood. Of course, we are on YouTube, where you should definitely subscribe, like, and share. And, if you're not in front of your computer or your phone, you're driving, you can find us anywhere you stream your podcasts. So iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere, everywhere, we are there. And Jamie, just like our podcast, you are everywhere, anywhere, all the time, because our next movie we're talking about is Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. This is coming out in September, but it's already tracking to have a major opening weekend. Now, according to a research firm, NRG, they are estimating an open as high as $80 million. Warner Brothers, they're being a little more conservative. They're like, you know what, I think we're expecting a big weekend, but let's not go, let's not exceed expectations or try to, beat that. But they're suggesting making around $65 and $75 million.
Yeah.
So still not a bad weekend. And this one, as we spoke about before, filmed in Vermont, also filmed some scenes here in Massachusetts. A big movie to watch.
Right?
In Melrose, yeah, so a big movie to watch as well. So really excited for that. Jamie, are you going to watch this opening weekend? Get a
I'm
babysitter?
going to try.
Yeah.
Absolutely. James, did I tell you?
What?
I'm in the trailer.
Are you? Oh,
I gotta show it to you. I gotta show you.
Can I tell you the scene or like it? I think. Can we talk about that scene?
Well, we can say that it's a scene with people in it.
Wow. That
right.
is
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're watching the trailer, look for a scene with people in there, and you'll see Jamie. I'll definitely keep my eyes open for that. But that's exciting. That's cool.
That's really exciting.
We can blow it up and put you on a poster.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm gonna be like a little blurry dot. Michael Keaton, all of the original cast back. Well, most of the original cast that are not alive, and not in jail. Right. And Jenna Ortega. I think there's so much hype around this film. And just from what we've seen with the footage so far, looks like it has done justice to the original, right? Everything was meant to be in the spirit of the original film 35 years later. So I'm super pumped and excited James, and I think everyone else is as well. So $80 million. What did Deadpool open to? Wasn't that around what Deadpool opened to opening weekend?
I think around there, yeah. And speaking of Deadpool, they are now officially, according to Ryan Reynolds, and he never lies, Deadpool is now the highest grossing R-rated film in cinematic history. So kudos to Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, Hugh Jackman, and all the Deadpools that appear in that movie and cameos as well. Very impressive, very cool. But Jamie, talking about actors. Go ahead.
I'm just going to say I have a prediction for what's going to be the most popular Halloween costume this year.
It's going to be dog pool.
Come the fall. Yeah, something, yep. Lots of dog pools, kid pools, baby pools, lady pools, and dead pools.
Beetlejuice is probably going to be big too, of course, Beetlejuice. So it's going to be a good year for Halloween and Halloween costume makers. Yeah. But speaking about costumes and returning actors from movies that first came out decades ago, we are hearing that in New Jersey, filming will start soon. Is that right? For Happy Gilmore 2? Happy Gilmore. More Gilmore. I like more Gilmore. Happy Gilmore or something like that. Yep. Filming is getting underway in something like that. Writes itself. Yes, it's filming is getting underway in the New Jersey, New York area. I think a lot of the filming is going to be happening predominantly in New Jersey. But if any of that ends up here in New England, we will definitely let you know so that you can throw your hat in, try to get cast, be in the background, spend a day with Adam Sandler. So, who's a New Hampshire boy, right? Sure. Yes, he is. Yeah. Who's a New Hampshire boy in general. So I'm hoping they'll be filming some scenes up here. But it's a improving time for Northeast movies, let's say. Things have been slow since the double strike, so hoping that things continue to ramp up for the acting community here. Happy Gilmore 2. I also wanted to give a shout out to George Mestos, one of my former colleagues and a huge fan of Happy Gilmore. So it's just very exciting to see that one come back. But just real quick, James, all of these sequels, all of these remakes, well, a lot of them are the reviving of the old IPs. Some of them bringing them literally back from the dead, right? Like Beetlejuice, back from the dead. I mean, is it always a good thing? No, I can tell you right now, no, it's not.
Especially with Adam Sandler. Nothing against Adam Sandler. We love him, and we would love him to be on the Hub on Hollywood. Oh. But some of his more recent movies haven't, gotten the acclaim, let's say, the attention, and the positive reviews that his earlier works have.
Okay, I thought you were hinting, which was... Yeah. I thought you were hinting at another movie that we're going to be talking about soon, but when you said, bringing back something that's dead, I thought, Happy Gilmore is not dead, but I thought you were prefacing a movie that we're going to talk about regarding trailers. But, it is possible that this is good. Adam Sandler movies, you kind of know what you're going into. Some of them are good, some of them are not. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. But does this have a chance to be good? Yeah, anything has a chance to be good. Will it be good? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. You'll see. We'll see. All right.
We'll just take a swing at it, won't we? Or will it be par for the course?
Talking about taking a swing, you should take a swing at trying to get something from the Happy Gilmore movie. That's a good transition, right? Because the famous Boston Bruins jersey that Billy Madison dons during his golf tournament, that is going up for auction right now. It could be yours. And what they call this is a screen-matched costume, which means that it refers to when a proper costume possesses specific markings or damage or thread fiber that align with the same artifact in the film. So this is going up for auction, as well as some other really cool stuff, including the miniature Batwing from Tim Burton's Batman, a 6-foot motorized filming model. That is projected to go for around $250,000 to $500,000 when it goes up for auction. Also, if you're a big fan of what's this movie? Ghostbusters, the puppet of Slimer, the Slimer puppet. That's going up for sale or up for auction as well, the 1984 version. I'm not sure how well it's holding up, but people will buy anything. Also, the screen-matched Ghostface costume, that is going up for $250,000. And lastly, the Star Wars Imperial Trooper Biker Scout helmet from Return of the Jedi, that is going up for auction, again, around $250,000 to $500,000. So, Jamie, if you have some loose change in your couch, I'll combine my loose change in my couch, and we'll see how many of these we can purchase.
Let's see what I got here. Let's see. I've got $1 and
I got a button.
I got $3.
Some Cheetos.
So
all right.
We can start our pool.
We'll start that bid
after this. So.
All right, Jamie. But how about this? How much are you willing to bet that these new Disney movies, these Disney remakes, are going to be good based off the trailer? And they include the live adaptation of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and also Mufasa, Lion King.
I would not bet my $3. That's for sure.
No.
Oh, James, I just wanted to stop.
What are we
so
doing?
Badly.
What are we doing as a society?
I don't know, but Disney needs to be stopped. Someone needs to go in there and just restrain them, because they are taking every IP, every cartoon that was ever made from the very beginning, from Snow White in 1937 to beating the dead horse that is the Lion King, and it's bad. All of it is bad. Yeah. None of it is good, and it's only getting worse, is what it seems like. So,
for every movie like this that gets made, the further we grow away from God. That's what I
believe. God, jeez. I wouldn't go that far, James, but I mean, sure. Yeah, that's how it feels, right? That's how our souls feel when Disney continues to make these abominations.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start? Because we can go on and rant on both of these.
Yeah, I won't, blow a gasket going over this. But the trailer for Mufasa, I watched, as we will mention in just a bit, I watched Alien Romulus on IMAX, and so one of the trailers that they showed was Mufasa - the Lion King, and oh my goodness, Jamie, there are so many bad lines, so cliche, so cringe, so worn out and overused in every bad movie you've ever seen.
We do not associate with outsiders.
But, Dad, I saved his life. I have a secret, Mufasa. I always wanted a brother. I always wanted a brother. I always wanted a brother.
Now both of you go. Find your place in the circle of life.
The circle is broken. There will be one Lion King.
Mufasa, run!
We must fight together. If we fight, we die!
Just to be clear, I never signed up for this.
Mufasa! This was a bad idea! We're alive! I did it! I saved us! You were saying?
The graphics don't look horrible, but
Trash.
Come on. We need to stop this. So basically, Mufasa, this is Simba, having become king of Pride Lands, is determined for his cub to follow in his paw prints while the origins of his late father Mufasa are explored. Jamie. Okay, to our listeners, to our viewers, hit pause right now. If you don't believe me how bad this trailer looks, hit pause, watch that trailer, come back, and after you've punched a wall or taken a shot of tequila or something to soothe the pain, join us back in this conversation right now. Jamie.
All right.
I cannot believe how bad this trailer looks. I don't know. I just can't get over it. This is a movie that does not need to exist. It's a story that's so bland. It looks so bland and boring and predictable. No one's asking for this. The voice acting in this, I'm sorry, Hollywood. Those actors who worked hard on this but get paid millions of dollars for this, so that's why they do it. I'm sorry, but this just doesn't look good, sound good, smell good. None of it.
Well, here's my theory. My theory is that they spent their millions and millions and millions of dollars on the graphics, right? To make this look as realistic as possible. And I would say the animation, I mean, it looks good. But it's still weird, right? It's got that uncanny valley-ness about it. It's like, okay, here's a hyper-realistic lion that is now suddenly doing not realistic or natural things and speaking in an unrealistic and unnatural way. So what's the point of making it look so hyper-freaking realistic if it's just going to be weird and unsettling? And but I feel like all of the budget went to that, right? Went to the animating, and nothing was left for anything else. So, God, it just hurts. It hurts, like you said, it hurts your soul. When they remade the other films, when they remade The Jungle Book, when they remade the first Lion King, and all of these, like, they were all so bad. Every time I took my kids to these movies, James, they came back traumatized and terrified.
Jamie, that's kind of on you, though. You need to start them with the original cartoons.
It's a Disney movie, though!
No, start with the original Disney movies. You can't go, present to backwards. You got to go with the classics, with what's proven to be true, what's gold.
But why are they making nightmare fuel? That's what I want to know. Like, it's not for kids anymore.
It's not. And so, my daughter, she's going to grow up. She's going to grow up believing it's the 90s. We're going to start by saying it's 1993.
Do it
Only
right.
a VHS exists. No streaming. No YouTube. Nothing. No tablets. Nothing. Here's a VHS. Here's your tape. Here's The Lion King. Wear out that tape. Watch it a million times because we're not going to be going into the future. We're going back to the past. I don't know.
Back to the past. To the good old days.
Yeah. So again, this trailer looks terrible. There's so many cliche lines. So many things like this one line where he goes like they fall off a waterfall and he's like, "This was your idea," or like, "Oh, we got away from the person or the other lion," and then it's like, "Oh." I forget what they say, but it's so cringe. Like, you were saying?
I did it! I saved us!
You were saying?
It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Stop it.
Okay. And speaking of what are we doing here, James?
Yes.
What are they doing with Snow White? Talk about nightmare fuel. I mean, okay, you've got Gal Gadot as the evil witch, and you've got Ziegler. I forget the rest of her.
Rachel Ziegler.
Rachel Ziegler as Snow White. I think they're both very beautiful. I think they're great actors. But the dwarves, James, the dwarves are not real people. They're not. You would think like, oh, this is an opportunity for them to hire like real little people actors, to come in and to portray this. Or I think that they decided that they didn't want to touch that, and so while Snow White and the Wicked Witch are live action real people, the dwarves are these weird, completely CG animated, creepy abominations of just, they're frightening. They look alien-esque, like, especially right next to, the live action, beautiful actress who is very obviously dancing around in front of a green screen with these creature
balls.
people that around tennis balls and things like that. And it just, to the eyeball, it makes me want to scream and run in the opposite direction. And I think that Disney can't pick a speed. Like, do we they're modernizing Snow White, right? And I don't think it's a movie that needs to be modernized. Honestly, in my honest opinion, James, I don't think this movie should have been touched at all. I think it should have been left exactly the way that it is. It's Snow White, 1937. It's one of those movies that when you watch it on the streaming service, a friggin' advisory comes up and says, here, this movie has negative depictions
Back
of all kinds of races and creeds and peoples.
We didn't know any better.
It's horrible. It's horrible towards minorities, towards little people, towards women, towards, all of these things. But you know what? It was the very first Disney movie, and it was important in its own right for its own time in its own way, and we should just leave it there. All right, I don't think it needs to be remade. It doesn't need to be modernized, and it doesn't need freakish CGI dwarves, dancing around Rachel Ziegler. And you cannot convince me also, James, that Gal Gadot, the Wicked Witch, or whatever, the Wicked Queen, is somehow not the most beautiful, too. Like,
well, that's like in the cartoon also. Like, the queen in the cartoon is not bad looking either. So, like, that's why. She's like, I'm beautiful, I'm gorgeous. How can this stupid mirror not see this? That the Snow White is not worthy of being called the fairest in the land, or again, it's a weird story in general. So
it is. It's
whatever.
A weird story. It didn't make sense then. It shouldn't be remade now. And this one's gonna crash and burn. But for me, the dwarves, it was just no.
So one thing that I've heard people suggest is that, well, one, I think Disney was going to cast little people as the dwarves, but then I heard this rumor. So if this isn't accurate, comment down below. But I heard Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones. He's a little person, and he, I guess, spoke out against Disney using little people as dwarves, and then this caused a rift in the community. People were saying, like, who's Peter Dinklage to be the person to speak for the community, and now no other little person's going to be hired to fill these roles. And so there's that kind of drama that happened. But people were saying, okay, fine, if you don't go with little people, then why not do what they did in The Hobbit movies? Now, granted, the movies are terrible. However, the Hobbits, they look, I wouldn't even say great, but they look passable they also play, I believe their species are dwarves in the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. So why not go with that? Technology,
just hire regular actors
affects.
that you string. Yeah. I don't know. Either way, I think they were trying to make everyone happy, and in the end, they just made a steaming hot pile of garbage that's not going to go anywhere. The film's
Don't
already
take your kids
like a
to watch
year.
this, Jamie. I'm warning you right now.
Oh, I'm not. My
After
husband
the movie
might go
comes out,
though.
you're gonna be like, I took the kids to the movie. Now they're traumatized. I'm like, Jamie, I told you not to do that.
Stop doing it. So you mean I shouldn't have taken my son, my 6-year-old, to go see Train to Busan?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Okay, I'm sorry. The zombies were really cool.
Yeah, they're
I'm
really
sorry.
cool. Oh goodness. Well,
Anyways, Disney, stop. And if you agree with us, sign the petition. There's no petition. Just agree with us. Let us know. What do you think about this? Yeah, I hope it never comes out, honestly. I feel bad for the people that worked on it, but no. I think it will set everyone back, so.
Well, Jamie,
I
think
that's my
one
take.
petition. Yeah, I think one petition that you would be willing to sign would be the one that would change the ending of the summer blockbuster hit Twisters. Would that be fair to say?
That would be fair to say. Fair to say. We had a discussion. Go check out our episode that was 2 or 3 episodes ago, where we talked about the fact that you had this great summer blockbuster, romance
really
between
good
the
movie.
two very attractive leads. Very good movie. Very solid in every respect, except that they broke a well-trodden trope, let's say, of the kiss at the end. The girl gets the guy gets the girl. And I think the reaction has been pretty split. I left the theater infuriated.
I believe you set the theater on fire. I think that's what you said you did. Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't let the cops know. But I was infuriated. I was ranting the whole credits. My husband totally called it. He's like, "No kiss for you." I'm like, "Well, no kiss for you then either." So, then a lot of people are like, "Well, this is a refreshing direction. The film didn't need it, etc., etc." And now the actor himself, Glen Powell, is weighing in on it. And what did he have to say, James?
Yeah, so he's the latest actor, latest person to throw his hat into the controversial debate. But I think he's playing both sides. He's being the peacekeeper because he acknowledges that that this has created a lot of healthy, maybe not so healthy, some toxic discussion online. But he comes out by saying, that he takes, the feedback very personally. He says, quote, "I'm sure you've seen in the behind the scenes where I did get to kiss Daisy Edgar Jones, which really, that's all that counts." And he laughed about it, talking to Screen Rant. But he says, "I really think that even that backlash shows that people care, which is really great. I just love how excited people have gotten about that movie, and Daisy and I send each other TikToks and the GIFs all the time." He does go on to say, lastly, that there's so much funny stuff coming out of this. It's fun. That's what summer movies are about. It creates this conversation and cultural moment, and people dress up and do the thing. It's been really awesome. So kiss or no kiss, everybody is a winner.
Very political answer.
Very
but
political
well
answer.
done.
He's
well
running
done.
for office. But I will go back to my point is that the main, what's her, do you remember the actress's name or the character's name? Top of your head?
Oh, yeah, Kate.
So Kate, she did not, I believe, did not need the kiss. It was implied that, obviously Kate and Glen Powell's character liked each other. They're going to, partner up or what have you. But the movie wasn't about her finding love or needing to find love. It was about her finding herself and being confident in herself, and then finding the love and passion for storm chasing. So much so that the director even agrees with me, or I agree with him, vice versa. But he says, he said he spoke to Entertainment Weekly, talking about that scene. He says, quote, makes it seem as though that's what Kate's journey was all about, to end with a kiss. Instead, the director thinks it's better to end things with Kate being able to continue doing what she loves. So, again, they run off and chase the storm together, which I think that's the kiss. That's the spark that brings them together. So
I've since come around to understand the rationale, and I get it. I think that even I would have been upset with a kiss at the airport, because that's cliche. It's cliche. Yeah. My argument is just that they could have done it in a more natural or creative way. That he picks her up at the airport and they run off into the sunset chasing storms together, and they don't kiss then. But then there's like a montage during the credits of them, all together working on her projects and chasing storms together. And that might have been a good opportunity to show, they kissed, they're in a relationship, things are progressing, life is great. Like, that would have been nice, because
you needed to see that. My thing is, you don't need to see that.
I need it. I need closure. I need absolution. I need to know. And why are you going to have two people who are that attractive on screen and then they don't kiss? I'm sorry. That's how I feel. Am I wrong? Maybe. But look, she kisses the boyfriend at the beginning of the movie. So why can't she get the new boyfriend at the end of the movie?
Because that's important to show that, that she was in love with this person, and then that person was stolen from something that, maybe not stolen per se, but, taken from something that she loved to do, and she blamed herself for his death. So that it's more character growth, more character building, and then that shows her arc from A to B. So that was necessary. The last one, again, those listening, those watching, who's right, who's wrong? Am I right? Is Jamie wrong?
Is Jamie right and James wrong?
You can say it. You can say it, whatever you think. I don't know. That's up to them. That's up to them to decide. But Glen Powell, again, he says everybody's a winner. So I guess there could be two winners.
All right.
Or
that's
two
fine.
losers. Yeah. Well, Jamie, moving on. You know what is a winner?
Us.
We are winners. And so you should definitely follow us at Hub on Hollywood on the social medias.
And
YouTube,
subscribe.
And Spotify, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. But the real winner this weekend is going to be, I believe, Alien Romulus, the seventh installation in the Alien franchise, not including the Alien versus Predator movies. I watched this and I was thoroughly spooked, scared. I don't know. It's a good movie. Basically, let's get into this.
Terrified?
So the story, it is being called one of the scariest movies, if not the scariest movie in the Alien franchise. And that's saying something, considering 1 and 2 are masterpieces. But basically, Alien Romulus, While scavenging the deep ends of a derelict space station, a group of young space colonists come face to face with the most terrifying life form in the universe. Directed by Fede Alvarez, produced by Ridley Scott, the man himself. This stars Kaylee Spaney as Rain, the main protagonist. Her brother Andy, played by David Johnson. They are joined by Archie Renault, Isabella Merced, Spike Fern, and Aileen Wu. As I said, the 7th installation of the Alien franchise. My overall thoughts? This movie feels the closest to the original roots of the franchise. They nail the aesthetics of the first two films, especially when it comes to the space station where the majority of this film takes place. The sound design, incredible. Like, you are jumping each time like a computer turns on, or there's a swoosh of the camera, or there's a creak of a bay hatch door, or what have you. The sound design is great. The machinery, the buttons, the creatures really sucks you in and puts you on the edge of your seat, because there is doom looming at every corner, at every shot of this scene. It really brings back the body horror aspect of these films, especially thanks to the face huggers, which get a lot of screen time. Again, we talked about it last week, the space hugger campaign, the marketing campaign, where you have people lying on the floor at like AMC lobbies with this face hugger on their face, and people taking pictures. Terrifying, but I think effective. Definitely one of the scariest Alien movies we've had in decades. Also a lot of great practical effects in this. Like, they use, of course, CGI where they needed to, but a lot of the alien creatures, they actually had real life, full-size animatronics. They had a person in the suit for really intricate scenes. The face huggers also, they're motorized, and so they're like running across the floor, and they look so good. Again, they had CGI jumping and everything like that, but for a lot of the scenes, they would actually fling like the face hugger like at the camera to make it look like it's actually there. God. So that was really cool. There are a few cons. So this isn't a perfect movie. There's a lot of fan service, and a lot of people will say that this is kind of like, it feels like a fan-made movie where somebody was playing the hits of Alien and Aliens. And so there's a lot of like homages to the first two movies. Some of them land, some of them don't. There are retreading of big moments in those first two films, which, again, were cool to watch to an extent, but it feels like kind of like, been there, done that. And they do include a lot of cool new stuff, including this really cool, like, this no gravity scene where they had some really creative decisions to, when it came to some of the alien acid blood. So that was a really cool sequence. The biggest thing, though, however, that kind of bugged me and took me out of the movie, and I will not spoil this because some people have spoiled this and people are angry and upset about it, but I will say there was some questionable filmmaking when it comes to, or, the choice when it comes to one character specifically, and some CGI that kind of takes you out of the film. I think they could have done without a certain character, and this movie would have been better for it. So I feel like, there was a little part that I was annoyed by. But other than that, I do think this is on the higher ends of the Alien franchise, possibly my third favorite movie. I highly recommend this movie. I think it's fun, it's scary, it's terrifying, it's gross, it creeps you out. I'm digging this movie, so I recommend this one. The movie's expecting a $50 million box office weekend, its opening weekend, so I think word of mouth will also help this movie grow more and more at the box office. But that's my non-spoiler review of Alien Romulus. Nice. Check it out. It's fun. It's creepy. It's fantastic.
I love it.
It's no Mufasa.
No Mufasa. Yes. And he digs it just like the facehuggers dig into your flesh and
goodness.
Exploding out of your chest. I have seen some of the previews and things, so I love the practical effects and that horror aspect. So yay! Go take your spaceship to the theaters as soon as you can. And James, to wrap this all up in a pretty little bow that you may or may not make out of alien parts,
sure.
Cinequotes.
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know what Cinema Quote is, it is a daily game. It's kind of like Wordle, where there's a movie, mystery movie of the day, and you have to guess what movie it is based off 5 quotes that they give you. You can also, guess in 1 or 2 or 3 guesses, but you have a total of 5 chances to guess the movie. And I think overall, we have more wins than losses. But But we didn't play last week, but we're back on the trivia train this week. I'm gonna trademark
we're doing
that.
pretty
Trivia
alright.
train.
The trivia train.
We'll play today's game, which is number 610. So, Jamie, if you are ready, and those who are listening, those who are watching, go ahead and try to guess with us. See if you can beat us at our own game.
All right.
Now, this game, it is warning you that some of the quotes can be considered not suitable for work. So, if you're at work, if you're at a nunnery, if you're in church, lower the volume a little bit. Before playing
put on
these
your
out.
headphones.
Put on your headphones. All right, Jamie, are you ready for quote number 1?
Yeah, let's do it.
In 3, 2, 1.
I don't want to hear any more about anyone blowing anything out their ass.
You might as well blow the whole family out your ass while you're at it, Dad.
That sounds very familiar. I don't
That
want to
sounds
hear
like,
any more about anyone blowing anything out of your ass. It kind of reminds me of like an early 90s movie where just like a family around a table.
One of those family vacation movies, maybe, or the one with is it Chevy Chase?
Yeah, Family Vacation.
Yeah, want to give it a guess?
Sure. Let's see.
Maybe that's not what it's called.
Well, it's called National Lampoon's...
There you go, National
Lampoon's Vacation. So we'll go with the first one, 1983, submitting in 3, 2, 1. No.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's
Quote
listen to
number
the next
2
quote.
in 3, 2, 1.
Why is it that Chet's kids look at him like he's Zeus? My kids look at me like I'm a rack of yard tools at Sears. I mean, why can't they connect with me?
What
Okay,
does
this
it
one
sound
sounds
like?
less familiar.
Yeah, I think we should just skip to the next one.
Okay, next quote in 3, 2, 1.
She may be out there. Crazy, bloodthirsty as ever.
I think I recognize this.
So when you go to bed tonight, if you hear a noise, whatever you do, don't look out the window.
Do you know?
That one sounds more familiar, but I don't know. Maybe we can try one of the other National Lampoons. Wasn't there a Christmas one?
Yeah. Christmas Vacation. I don't think it is, but...
Okay. Well, wasn't there one where they didn't go on vacation, where it was just Christmas at their house? I don't know.
Yeah, that's Christmas.
But let's... Okay, never mind.
Yeah, they're all called Vacation. Like Christmas Vacation, European Vacation.
Okay.
Let's try Christmas. I don't think it is, but I have no other guess. So guessing in 3, 2, 1. No. All right.
Okay.
Quote number 4. You at home, at church, listening and watching this. What do you think? Okay, 3, 2, 1.
He's not done yet.
Well, he may take a little while with that last bite, but it'll go down.
That ain't the last bite.
Well, sure it is. There's nothing on that plate but gristle and fat.
Oh, okay. Now that sounds familiar, but
That's, what's his name? That's the dude from, Ghostbusters.
Dan Aykroyd?
It sounds like... it sounded like Dan Aykroyd to me. Is it Blues Brothers? No, it's not.
I don't know this one. It sounds familiar, but I can't put a finger on it.
Okay.
Do you want to skip?
Yeah, let's go to the next one.
Okay, this is the final one. Next quote in 3, 2, 1.
We're glad you're home, honey.
Big Bear, chase! Big Bear, chase!
What is he saying?
What? Big Bear, chase me!
Is this with John Candy? There's one. There's one with a bear.
And John Candy.
John Candy.
Come on, guys, help us out.
Like there's a it happens at a cabin. There's a bear. They get shot in the butt.
Yeah, I feel like yes, this exists somewhere in the dark vestiges of my memory, but couldn't think of a name. Trying to think of a John Candy movie that we can guess.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I don't think it's Uncle Buck, but that's the only John Candy movie I can think of. What do you think?
All right, yeah, let's just give it a try.
Okay, Uncle
I feel
Buck.
bad.
I know. Well, 3, 2, 1. The Great Outdoors. It is John Candy.
Oh.
And Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
so
see,
bear,
we got the voices.
Yeah. So this bear gets shot with like a lamp gun. Such a weird movie, but I remember that. The Great Outdoors. Okay, we should get close.
Partial credit. I think we should get partial credit for that.
I'll give us a sticker, like a gold sticker.
Yeah.
I think that's nice.
Yeah,
I think that's
gold
okay.
Star.
All right, did you get it? Did you guess The Great Outdoors? Did you beat us? Were you like, I know what this is after the first quote? Well, if you did, you're better than us, I guess. Doesn't take much to beat us, but hey.
But not for long. Not for long.
We're coming back. We're bouncing back. Just like every other Disney movie. We're bouncing back. Better, stronger, with more CGI. All right.
Oh, God,
Jamie,
stop.
well, this is a jam-packed episode, a great episode. Thank you so much for those of us watching, those listening, and those sharing the podcast. Let us, infiltrate the rest of your family and friends groups. Tell them about us.
Yeah.
Was that the right word? Yeah.
I like that.
A little more sinister thinking. But again, share us. If you like what we do here, please comment down below. Give us suggestions. Let us know, what you like about the show, what you would like to see we do on the show, what we review, what we, anything that can help us, help you, help us.
Help us help you, and you helping us,
exactly.
and all that. So just like aliens help us to spread and infect people, across the land. And,
beautiful.
As long as they subscribe, that's what it's all about, I guess. No,
Absolutely.
It's about bringing you the films that are made here in New England, our hot takes, and there are many of those, and it's always fun when one of us gets really angry. So until next week, James, until we're mad about the next thing.
Yep.
I'm Jamie.
I'm James.
We'll see you then.